Have you ever found yourself wondering how that old coworker or college classmate keeps landing those dream opportunities, the ones you know you're just as qualified for, if not more? Here's the truth. It's not about talent. It's not about timing. It's not even about luck. It's about perception. They're visible, they're consistent, and because of that, they're known, liked, and trusted. They've created a personal brand that reflects not only who they are right now, but who they're becoming. And that's what draws in the right opportunities at every phase of their career. So what exactly are they doing differently? And how can you create that same kind of momentum for yourself starting right now? Today, that's what I'm bringing down in this video, the simple, repeatable 6-step framework I like to call the personal brand reinvention loop. So the first step of this reinvention loop is to start with auditing your online presence. Start by scrolling through your main accounts and asking yourself, what are people seeing, thinking, and saying about me right now? And what feels outdated or off-brand and out of alignment with your goals? So a couple pro tips. You can ask a couple of friends that you trust to actually be honest with you to tell you if their perception of you and their first impression matches what you're trying to project. And you can also even ask AI to do a quick scan of your socials and your website to evaluate your online presence and then make some suggestions on what you can do to bridge the gap between where you're at now and how you actually want to be perceived. So once you've documented those findings from step 1, you're going to move on to step 2, which is to identify your unique point of view. That's your origin story, your passions, the weird job that you had in college, the niche hobby that you're obsessed with. These are not just side notes, they're your edge. So ask yourself, what do you want to be known for? How does your story shape your voice and your value? And how can you use these unique experiences that you've had to differentiate your message and your brand in the market? If you think about it this way, if 5 people in your industry were asked the same question, what would your answer sound like that no one else could say the same way? So for me, for example, my background in combat sports always reminds me that growth isn't about overnight wins. It's actually about being okay with getting 1% better every single day. Because success doesn't come from brute force alone. It's timing, momentum, technique, and strength working together that leads to the takedown, the submission, whatever you're trying to achieve in that moment. And it's about putting in the reps with new techniques and learning what works for your body and style. And the same is true with organic social media strategy. It's not a one size fits all. You have to test, refine, and keep evolving until the approach feels natural and effective for you. So the next step is the most obvious, which is to document where you want to go, what your next level looks like. And this is where you zoom out and you ask yourself, how have I grown? Who am I becoming? And what kind of opportunities, clients, or communities do you want to attract next? So now that you've documented steps 1 to 3, it's time to start the process of making your brand look like the future version of you. And when all the behind the scenes work of evaluating how you want to reinvent your brand gets to be seen. So this means getting new brand photos taken of you that reflect your energy and goals, maybe updating your bios, banners, and profile pictures, and using cohesive visuals that help people feel the level that you're stepping into. So if you don't know where to start with this, I've actually got 2 resources to make the process easier. The first one is a free personal brand shot list guide that'll help you figure out exactly what kind of photos you need and the dimensions you want to plan for when getting your photos taken so that your content fits where it needs to go. And the second resource is the Personal Brand Photoshoot Playbook, which is a digital guide that walks you through the entire process of planning your dream photo shoot that actually creates the photos that differentiates you from the rest. So say goodbye to those boring corporate photos that look like everybody else's. Both are linked below if you're ready to stop looking like your past self and start showing up like your future one. Once you finish visually reinventing your brand, the last step is to keep showing up and to invite people into your process of becoming. Too many people wait until everything is done or perfect. I'm definitely guilty of this, but people connect to the process. And so you'll want to share the behind the scenes and talk about what you're learning, changing, and maybe even unlearning. This is what builds trust with people and what makes people feel like they're all in the ride with you. So I'm saying this to myself as I'm saying it to you now, because I know I haven't done this enough, and it's definitely part of my goals this year. And so that wave of momentum that you're trying to catch will come with each time you show up, because the more consistently you show up, the more people will start to remember what you do and to associate your name with the opportunities that you actually want. And if you thought this was a one and done kind of deal, think again. That's why I called it a loop, because it's a process you'll visit each time you're ready for a new level. So whether you're transitioning between industries, stepping into thought leadership, or simply want to level up to bigger opportunities in what you're already doing, this loop is how you make it happen. If you've made it to the end of this video, you're obviously pretty serious about stepping things up with your brand. So make sure you don't forget to grab the free shot list starter guide and the personal brand photo shoot playbook, which are linked below in this video description. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.